Now that I covered horror, here are 5 gateway anime every sci-fi fan should see, in no particular order. First up is Goku Midnight Eye from 1989. This is a 2-part miniseries, but since each movie is only about 40 minutes long, we'll just pretend it's one movie. Goku Midnight Eye is a cyberpunk mystery thriller about a detective turned private investigator, and thanks to his cybernetic eye, he's pretty good at his job. While it's not the prettiest anime of its time, it's still entertaining, has great acting. I love the new wave soundtrack, and something interesting to note, not only does Goku share his name with another famous anime Goku, but he also uses a power pole as well. Coincidence? Goku Midnight Eye is currently available on Crunchyroll, Amazon Prime, and Tubi. Next up, 1981's Heavy Metal may not be Japanese anime, but it definitely deserves to be on this list. This is a sci-fi fantasy anthology film comprised of 9 stories, including the opening sequence and the epilogue. And they are all tied together through the central theme of an evil force that is the sum of all evil. The film features an all-star cast and a killer soundtrack. And personally, my favorite segment is B-17 since it's horror-centric, and I love the animation style in that particular segment. And each segment has its own sort of animation style since they're done by different animation houses. Now, Heavy Metal is currently available to rent on Amazon for about $4. Now, this one is one of my favorites and one that most anyone can appreciate, and that is Armitage III Polymatrix. Armitage is a cyberpunk OVA from 1995 starring the voice talents of Kiefer Sutherland, Elizabeth Berkley, and Bryan Cranston. I've seen this film heavily compared to Blade Runner, and while it definitely has like Blade Runner vibes, I don't think it can really be called an anime version of Blade Runner. Now, however, with a solid cast, great action set pieces, and an entertaining story, I highly recommend that you check this one out, and it's currently available on Anywave.tv and Funimation.com, where you can get a 7-day free trial. Now, you can't have a proper sci-fi list without including 1997's Ghost in the Shell. It has everything you could possibly ask for, excellent acting, beautiful animation, and a complex story with well-developed characters. This was the first film that made me think about what consciousness really is, and can we preserve it? Now, Ghost in the Shell is pretty much available on all the streaming services, but you can also watch the 2.0 version that has updated animation and CGI available on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen that version yet, but I'm definitely going to check it out. And finally, this is another classic sci-fi film and the second DVD that I ever purchased, and that's Akira. I call it a classic, but it's really a masterpiece. There is so much going on with the plot, subplots, character development, and it's easy to get lost if you aren't paying attention. But that's part of what makes Akira a masterpiece. The sound design, the score, the visuals, all that help create an immersive experience, and I highly suggest you watch this one in surround sound if you can. While it's available on all these different streaming services like Hulu and Crunchyroll, I would actually suggest maybe even buying it on Vudu in HDX or even on Blu-ray. And that's just my personal opinion. So there you have it. There are 5 gateway anime that every sci-fi fan should see. Now, if you or someone you know are sci-fi fans and you're curious about anime, give one of these films a chance, and I promise you won't regret it. You've been watching Chaotic Pop. My name is James, and I'll see you in the next one.